I had a chance to stop by and walk around this little town of Hamilton, Texas on my way from Austin into Fort Worth. And I had a nice visit into the Austin and Hill Country area, played a good amount of gigs around there. And I'm looking forward to playing music at a number of places coming up there in the Fort Worth area. Hamilton is located 115 miles northwest of Austin and 100 miles southwest of Fort Worth. So it's roughly midway between Austin and Fort Worth along Highway 281, which is a longer, more scenic route to get up to Fort Worth from Austin rather than taking I-35 between the two. Hamilton's population is right around 3,000 people, so it's a pretty small central Texas town. The history of settlement here goes back to the 1850s, with cotton being one of the big things, where they had tons of acres devoted to cotton, into the early 1900s. The railroad came again in the early 1900s with extension into Stephenville and North and South Texas Railway, and the St. Louis Southwestern Railway also connected Hamilton to many of the surrounding towns. And so the city developed into an important market center. They had over 100 businesses that were all involved in things like manufacturing for clothes and wood and steel, and they were in the dairy industry. And even today, it still has an important status as a regional center in Central Texas. It is a cowboy town, and the county, Hamilton County, is known as the Dove Capital of Texas, as well as Cowboy Country. There's also a sign that greets you on the way into town with the phrase, "What a hometown should be." So they got some small town, hometown, wholesome values here. And there's some folks who've noted that it does sit on the cultural divide between East and West Texas. So this would have been about the furthest the areas would have been settled before the Civil War, where everything west of here would have been developed after that. And that means that there can be a difference in culture that is still preserved and felt there today. They do have a traditional town square with the courthouse building that goes back to 1897, and it includes abandoned buildings and storefronts, but there's many active buildings you can see walking along there, including they got a pharmacy, investments, realty, clothing, law and title, flowers and gifts, antiques, Chinese restaurants, tattoos. Some of the popular attractions are the Pecan Creek Park, and there's a place called Ramsey the Collection, which has some pretty interesting looking art there in a museum. They're also known to be the site of the Billy the Kid gravesite because somebody who is from there named William Brushy Bill Roberts, well, when he got older, he told everybody that he was Billy the Kid. Hamilton does continue to celebrate its heritage with events like the annual Dove Festival that they've got going on for over 50 years now, happening toward the end of the dove hunting season. They do got a little theater here called the Ross Street Theater that's home to the Hamilton Civic Theater. And in terms of live music, there's a couple places you can find it right along this square. One of them is a place called Woody's. Then there's a place called the Grain Drafthouse. They've got live music that they feature there as well. So ultimately, after checking out this interesting little Texas town, I made it back up the road to Fort Worth.
Take me down to the river town. Won't you take me down to Cemetery Road? Take me down to the river town. Won't you take me down to Cemetery Road? It's a place in town that you don't want to go. Alligators out there swimming in the swamps and in the bowl of seafood gumbo. They got alligators out there swimming in the swamp. Well, I've been there once and I ain't going back. You know, every little town got a place like that. Every little town got a place like that. Every little town got a place like that.
Thanks for checking out this video. I'm posting all about touring around Texas and the music scene around Texas. So you can click on my YouTube channel, check out those thumbnails, and see which of those topics are interesting to you. Give those videos a view, and thank you for giving this video a view.